Jeff Gilbert, the Michigan News Network.
There were celebrations in the Upper Peninsula over the weekend as a snowboarder from Iron River won a gold medal. 40-year-old Nick Baumgartner teamed with 36-year-old Lindsay Jacobellis to win the first mixed-team snowboard cross gold medal, a competition that debuted at this Winter Olympics in Beijing. The win makes Baumgartner and Jacobellis the oldest medalists in Olympic snowboarding history. The medal is Baumgartner's first appearances. WSGW News Time, 9:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. For today, we'll see isolated snow showers with mostly cloudy skies and a high of 22 degrees. For tonight, we'll see isolated snow showers with partly cloudy skies. For Tuesday, it'll be partly sunny with a high of 27 for the day. Looking at Wednesday, we do warm up to a high of 47 degrees with isolated rain showers in the afternoon. Thursday, we cool back down again with rain and snow showers, cloudy skies, and a high of 32 degrees. For Friday, it'll be mostly sunny with a and isolated snow showers Friday night. I'm meteorologist Amanda Edwards with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently 5 above.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, the Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show. Brand new week here in February, this Monday, Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to you. Later on, after the 10 o'clock news, we'll have open phones. At 11 o'clock, we will focus on the Bayarnack ISD. But for this hour, it is Black History Month, and we have invited a guest to be with us this morning who we are very familiar with. Because you can hear him on WSGW Sunday evenings with his United Shades of Gray program, an open and rather frank discussion of race relations. And we're going to do some of that right now because I say good morning to Kareem Bowen. Kareem, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art, and happy Valentine's Day.
Hey, same to you, brother. Listen, we appreciate you taking time to be with us this morning. Let me ask, as an overview question, let's put a time frame on it. Let's say the last 30 years. Have race relations gotten better in this country?
I think, Art, we have made some strides in some areas, and I think a part of our world that has kind of gone along with the process and has been silent for so long. I think we see them now voicing their opinions. So I think that we've made a lot of strides. I think that the majority of the world desires to be a better place and to have more equity and inclusion. And so I think what we're seeing is a lot of noise from a smaller portion of the population.
I have said, as long as I could speak, no baby is born into this world with a prejudice bone in their body.
Absolutely.
It's a learned behavior. Somehow we have to interrupt that learning process. You agree? Absolutely.
Race is definitely something, they've done studies over and over again on that. And race is something that it is a social construct, and it's something that we create, and it's something that we proliferate continually through the life of a child. And we tell them, what's right and what's wrong as they grow. And as individuals who understand that if we can teach it, we can unteach it as well.
Yeah, that's the key, though, and that's a real trick, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, it really is, because you have to get into the hearts and minds of people.
Well, one thing that I've noticed, if you look at families, and we've all seen it, we have those examples where there may have been some racist or racial issues within a family concerning a particular race, and then a child will go out and have get pregnant or have a baby, a granddaughter, grandson with that race. Things change. And so I think that when we communicate, love, I believe, is the bridge over every racial expression that we have. it covers a multitude of sins. I truly believe that. And so only love can stamp out hate. And I think that we have to train and we have to love and we have to be patient with people to allow them to grow through that process.
It's, it's interesting. We're all products of our upbringing. I was a Jewish kid in the Bronx, New York. You grew up in Saginaw, right?
Absolutely.
Grew up in this area. The difference, I mean, various groups from time to time have all suffered the impact of either racism or intolerance, if you will. The difference in the type of intolerance that, say, the Jewish people suffered versus the type of intolerance that you would suffer as a black man.
Absolutely.
Are that if you look at me, you may not be able to tell what I am, who I am, where I'm from. If I look at you, I instantly know you are a black man.
Can't hide that one.
Can't hide it. But it's interesting when I talk about our upbringings. I grew up on the streets of the Bronx in New York. And you learn to be tolerant of everyone, because if not, you might have been the victim rather than the person you look at differently.
Right.
And consequently, you come to the table with a whole different set of values. So I just I look at it. I look at this whole thing differently, I guess. I don't know.
Art, when hearing you say that, and I think for a long time we've tolerated each other, and I never want to be tolerated. I believe I believe that when a person comes to work, a person goes to school or wherever they find themselves, that they should be able to bring their whole selves, and we have to learn how to appreciate the differences that we all embrace. I've had a very unique life, and I've had some very immersive experiences where I have been in different cultures and seen different people. And I think that a lot of times just breaking up the monotony of the pool of individuals that we're around makes a huge difference. When we learn more, we do better. When we learn better, we do better. And so my thought is, even with United Shades of Gray, as you talked about earlier, is that when we can change anything that we have a conversation about. And I love coming on here, having these conversations with you. We brought Mark Bassett, who former CEO over at Hemlock Semiconductor.
Yep.
He's going to be coming in as a reoccurring co-host with us. And he and I have struck up a very unlikely friendship. He
needed something to do in retirement. Was that?
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. So I became his charity case, but I appreciate it because I respect him and I respect his opinion. And we've learned how to have tough conversations and be able to grow through those conversations and learn from one another.
Well, I think communications is key. You have to be able to talk to someone. I have to ask this, though, and don't take this the wrong way.
Absolutely.
At a time when there is a cry for unity and there is a cry for inclusion, I see more blackness in organizations. How can I describe this? I see more of a black separation on purpose rather than a black unity, an all black network, a black this, a black that, a blackish show, at a time when we're trying to assimilate rather than move apart. Am I missing something there?
Well, there's a couple of things in there that I think are important to address. One of those is that what Black America has had to do for the time that we've been here since, our time here in the country is assimilate. So assimilation, I think, is the worst thing for any culture to do. But it's what is often expected here in the United States. And so we've often looked at ourselves as a melting pot. But I would like to take a look and us to relook at us as more as a tossed salad. And I've heard that analogy before, where we are a country of immigrants. Some of us came willingly, others were brought here by force. And in this wonderful salad, salad's not good for me unless you got carrots and croutons and cucumbers. So we are all one nation, but it is the diversity that we provide as a nation and the uniqueness of each culture that really adds the flavor. And talking about this, are looking at what took place yesterday for the Super Bowl. Rap, hip hop music has been around for about 50 years. And it's taken 50 years for us to get to a place that we could actually learn to appreciate that culture. Now, what took place, because it was always on the fringes for the majority of its existence, was for a lot of that music to get into mainstream America. When we look at rap music, the people that are buying rap music are not little black and brown kids in the hood. It's young kids in suburbia who have found a liking for Black culture, and hip hop is a culture, and appreciating that culture is beautiful when we look at it as the grand scheme of things, that this is what makes America uniquely different than other countries.
Yeah, but I looked at it as it's just another form of music to me. It's another form of entertainment.
Absolutely.
The same way I may look at jazz, or I may look at rock, or I may look at classical music. It's just another arm of the entertainment industry. And by the way, I thought they did a pretty good job on that show last night.
Yeah, and what you said, Art, is exactly it. It is another form. I'm sure that when rock and roll came out, there were a lot of parents who was like, all of that noise. But what we have seen is
I
that
had two of them.
What's that?
I had two of them.
Okay, so I think just to be able to see hip hop music, which is a music that is filled with a culture, a lot of that culture comes from Black America, to be accepted as just another. It may seem like not like a big deal that it's just another form of music, but to be able to be appreciated as a form of music and not racket or noise is a big accomplishment. And so kudos to those individuals. And I think a lot of that goes to just being able to be consistent at your grind. And I love to be able to see when people are able to make those types of achievements.
All right, Kareem, hang on. We got to take a break. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with those. And we'll be back. Got to talk about the Dow Treasure Academy, too, that you're involved in. All of that ahead on the Art Lewis Show as we talked to Kareem Bowen this morning. And let me take a moment to talk to you about the Thalen Auto Group. For years now, you've heard me touting the outstanding lineup of new cars from the Thalen Auto dealers. They're located right there on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City. They're all side by side. Think of this now. Every time they sell a new car, they take a pre-owned vehicle and trade most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. They take that car, they put it through their inspection process, they update that car to make it as good as they can possibly make it. And they also look at the market for additional used cars meeting their exacting standards. And then they put them on their lot. And that becomes the time for you to shop for fully inspected used vehicles, all in one place. The biggest collection in the Great Lakes Bay region, sitting in one location. Hundreds of vehicles to choose from. And you can also shop certified pre-owned vehicles. I mentioned their new cars. Well, they have Audi, Volkswagen, Subaru, Mazda, Honda, Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. You can certify pre-owned vehicles, certified pre-owned vehicles from all those marks. So you don't have to spend days running around to dealer to dealer to dealer. You can go to one place, see a whole bevy of automobiles. You can even do it online at thinkthalen.com. Thalen Auto Group, serving your automotive needs for 45 years. We will be back with Kareem Bowen after these notes.
I vaccinate because I want to protect my daughter.
I vaccinate because these diseases can be deadly.
Because of vaccines, we tend to think of diseases like whooping cough and measles as things of the past, but they aren't. Michigan's children still get them and pass them on. Get the whole story at ivaccinate.org. Vaccinate because I got the facts. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, the Franny Strong Foundation, and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
Hey, Jim! Thanks for coming.
Are you kidding? I never miss one of your dinner parties. How's the new job?
We're growing fast, and I stopped working weekends, thanks to how much smoother everything runs on NetSuite by Oracle.
Fantastic. We're still using QuickBooks.
Why haven't you upgraded to NetSuite?
We're making QuickBooks work, sort of.
Watch your language. The kids are right there. Sorry, Amy. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more. is everything you need to grow, all in one place. And 93% of surveyed businesses increased their visibility and control since upgrading from QuickBooks to NetSuite.
Yeah, it sounds like it's time for me to switch to NetSuite. Over 27,000 businesses already use NetSuite. For the new year, NetSuite has a new financing program for those ready to upgrade at netsuite.com/radar. Head to netsuite.com/radar for this special one-of-a-kind financing offer on the #1 financial system for growing businesses. netsuite.com/radar.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why would you pay full price when you know that you can save at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out our deals going on Ninja, 120 Fitness, the Salt Room and Wellness Spa, Uplift Creative Center, Joyce's Purple Palette, Woody's Hot Dogs, Wonder Burger, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Canning and Salon. Half off? You bet. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
On the next Buckley Van Camp and Robin show, what are Biden's 3 favorite activities on vacation? Nap, ice cream, nap. In that order.
Buckley Van Camp and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Investors are closely watching developments involving Ukraine and comments from Fed officials about how the Federal Reserve will respond to inflation. St. Louis Fed President James Bullard says he will advocate for the Fed to raise interest rates by a full 1 percentage point by July. Though San Francisco Fed President Mary Daly is warning against abrupt and aggressive action. Intel's self-driving unit Mobileye is planning to build and deploy autonomous shuttles in the U.S. in about 2 years. Couples may enjoy Valentine's Day, but the Wall Street Journal says when it comes to mattresses, they're opting for more space since the onset of the pandemic. Tempur Sealy says king beds are by far the preference now. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation broke ground on its Do Good Village in Land O'Lakes, Florida. It's the first of its kind, a community of 110 homes for the foundation's program recipients. So together, families can heal. A special place where families know that their neighbors understand and care. Don't to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. T2T.org. That's T, the number 2, T.org.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
Now an important message from Exergen. A critical new FDA study proves that the widely used non-contact thermometers are not accurate and have high negative readings. New COVID strands are on the rise, and non-contact manufacturers are being irresponsible at a time when accuracy matters most. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. Don't wait. Switch to Exergen because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Yes, I'm so sorry about the wait, ma'am. I'll be with you shortly. Carrie, how many appointments did you book at 2:30?
Jin's physical therapy clinic is pretty stretched.
That was some light stretch.
He needs another PT before patients get bent out of shape.
You get fresh ice pack from Miss Davis's knee.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes and Indeed match your sponsored. Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, we're back with you. We're talking to Kareem Bowen. It's Black History Month, and we're talking about relations in this country and other things. And one of those other things is a project that you, Kareem, are involved in with Dow. Tell us about the Dow Treasure Academy and what this is all about.
Yeah, Dow Treasure Academy is Dow's response to create a pipeline for Black and young people in Black and Brown communities by helping them to remove barriers, access barriers, awareness barriers, and creating an experience for them where they can get trained in personal development, public speaking, STEM related training and educational opportunities, as well as meet executives in these fields to inspire these young people to do great things.
So what's your role in all this?
Well, in 2020, right after the cries for social justice, and I led a march through the streets of Saginaw with about 300 African American men. I just felt so unseen at that time with everything that I've done in the community, to see another Black man die in the way that George Floyd did. Not that he was a hero, but just to see that the lack of humanity that was expressed to another Black man. And as we've had discussions before, we've seen this time and time again. And so my response was, what's next? What takes place next? We've marched, we've protested, we've done all of these things. But really what has to happen is that we have to begin to make changes in the areas where we have influence. And so, divine download, I got this idea of the Dow Treasure Academy, where Dow, which is, a global corporation right in our backyard, could really assist in a big way just by investing in the minds and the hearts of young people.
You mentioned an interesting word. I want to maybe delve a little deeper into it. You mentioned barriers.
Yes.
This is to knock down the barriers. Explain those barriers. And the reason I asked that, Bowen, is there are educational opportunities for everybody. There's the opportunity to go to college in all kinds of ways with grants and what have you. Explain the barriers as you see it in that community as opposed to other communities.
Absolutely. I would like to start by saying that I have been blessed to be able to live and to experience many of the privileges of what I would consider the American dream. And America is a great land of opportunity. I'll start by saying that. However, there are often in many communities barriers to be able to experience those opportunities. And in many underserved communities, just being aware that there are certain things prevalent. When we began to look at why are there so few people of color in STEM related professional fields, a lot of that is because many of them aren't aware. And so awareness of that field becomes a barrier. And then once you become aware, there has to be the ability, like for instance, the young Black kids die at a rate of 10 to 1 as it relates to 10 times more likely to die when it comes to a swimming accident. Why? Because we don't have a lot of swimming pools in our neighborhood. And it's kind of a long-standing joke with a lot of people, that Black people don't know how to swim. Well, it's one of the things that we don't have. Many white kids grow up with swimming pools. They grow up going to the YMCA. And those are things that enable them to be able to swim. So we could teach a young person how to swim. But what if we began to put opportunities to swim in communities where it becomes something of a norm? And so now they are aware that there is a pool. They're aware of how to swim. And then we begin to build a community that is now safer and stronger because of a simple basic principle of understanding how to swim.
All right. You learned how to swim.
Yes, sir. I did. As a matter of fact, I was a lifeguard.
How'd you do that?
Exposure. When I was a kid, I grew up in a community that was predominantly white. So a lot of the barriers that were there for many people, access to where they had me dragging me up north. I'm like, Black people don't go up north, but that was one of the thoughts that was pervasive at that time. And so going up north and going camping and seeing the UP, these were things that I was exposed to. But there are a lot of kids, and when I say young people, and I refer often to people of color, which it speaks to the larger, broader audience. But oftentimes I am really focused on ADOS, African descendants of slaves. And that is a very different group of individuals because those are Black people who are the descendants of these slaves. When I look at them, many of these kids don't leave off. They don't go away for vacations. They're not planning a trip for spring break. And I think people are amazed that they spend the majority of their time in the 4 blocks of the community in which they were raised. It is probably more recently that we're seeing that people are taking more trips and being exposed to the world. Exposure changes your life.
That's true. But then I have to ask, why do they do that? I grew up in New York City. There are people in New York neighborhoods that never leave their neighborhood.
Absolutely.
6-block region, whatever you want to, however big it is. Never, ever leave it. But they do it by choice. Why does a black family choose not to leave that 4-block area? There's nothing stopping them from going to the 5th block, is there?
No, there isn't. But, when we grew up, we were like, don't leave off of this street. We couldn't leave off the street. But the reality of the fact is, when we talk about equity and inclusion, that there is a very big wealth gap. There's a huge wealth gap that is really the pervasive issue. When I was growing up, I didn't, my grandparents didn't have an inheritance for me to have. And that is something that is generational. That's one of the generational pain points in our community. You go from slavery to nothing, and you have to begin to build a sense of wealth so that you can, vacations are leisurely, and in many communities that are underserved, it's, do I pay my utility bill or do I go on vacation? Because those are things that you use for discretionary funds. And it's really interesting because there's a huge wealth gap. There's a huge gap in payment for doing the same amount of work, not only for minorities, but also for women. And so those types of situations make a difference with how you are able to be, to experience life. There was, my mom's on here, she said, it takes finances. Growing up raising 2 young boys as a single parent mom for most of our lives, she understood that sacrifice, but she was willing to make those sacrifices. And I had a huge family that was able to be supportive in that process, so that my experience was much different.
All right, Kareem, hang on. Got to take a break. We'll be back. We're talking to Kareem Bowen during Black History Month, and we're talking about race relations and also the Dow Treasury Academy. More on both when we return here on the Art Lewis Show.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team will tell you that everything we do is for our members because it's about you always.
Recently, I was working with a member to purchase an auto loan and saw an opportunity to help them save some money. By refinancing their credit card debt, we were able to save them over $600 a month. This is one of the many ways that we deliver outstanding service to our members.
Delivering marvelous experiences, saving members money, providing personalized service, going the extra mile. That's Wildfire Credit Union. It's what we do every day. Find out for yourself. Call 800-227-23. wildfirecu.org or come by any Wildfire location to experience banking the way it's supposed to be, where it's about you always. Wildfire Credit Union, distinctively better. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. These are actual examples of savings and not guaranteed in every situation.
Waste the savings on a new Mastercraft door from Menards. Mastercraft makes great doors inside and out. Choose from our great selection of in-stock Mastercraft doors to take home today. Or personalize your door your way with our online or in-store door designer. Menards has the fastest delivery on doors with free shipping to your store in approximately 7 days. Save big on Mastercraft doors during Menards Race to Savings sale. Savings good through February 19th.
Save big money at Menards.
Yes, I'm so sorry. Shortly. Carrie, how many appointments did you book at 2:30?
Jim's physical therapy clinic is pretty stretched.
That'll be some light stretch.
He needs another PT before patients get bent out of shape.
You get a fresh ice pack from the States.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. InstaMet instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com for Sullivan's Food and Spirits is sold out. But you can still check them out online and in person. And don't forget to keep checking back because there are still a ton of deals on RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of WSGW.
And we are back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. And we have a listener, John, said, great person and subject to have on your program, Art. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. So, Kareem, I'm going to go back to the Dow Treasury Academy for a minute. How does a student get involved? This is a collaboration between the Saginaw Community Foundation, Saginaw Board of Education, Delta College, right?
Yeah. So this is well. Let me make a correction. Well, it is actually it's a partnership that my business, KB Executive Solution, has with Dow Global, and our other partner with that is our major partner is Microsoft, and so they are offering. Yeah. We got some great partners here, and then we have additional partners with Saginaw Community Foundation, which is on board. Renee Johnson is a longtime friend. Garber Management. There's a whole list of partners that we have in here, as well as Delta College. And Dr. Reva Curry over at Delta College has been phenomenal in working with us. And one of the things that she wanted to do was to bring opportunities for engagement with young people with STEM and technology. And so the Dow Treasury Academy, largely, the large portion of what we do is related around what we call STEAM. So it's science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And then we add global leadership and citizenship to that process. And so our kids are a part of this amazing collaboration of partners that are really wrapping around them and providing what they do best to help these children reach excellence.
This is a 3-year program. Are these youngsters referred to you or do they apply?
Well, what we did is we allowed an open application process. So we got with the school district, Dr. Ramon over at SPSD, he and his staff, and we kind of talked about what was the DNA of the student that we were looking for. And we allowed students to apply. Those students had to have a referral by an academic advisor or a administrator or teacher. And then we did an interview process and we selected those students through that process.
So how does it work? What do they do once they're accepted into the program? What's the routine?
Okay, once they were accepted into the program, we did a kind of meet and greet. So we got all the kids together virtually because this process actually started in fall of last year. And once they got together, we began to just give them the criteria. And I am really a stickler. I think that when you are given an opportunity, you have to put forth the work to seize the moment. Everything that has ever been good in my life came because I was willing to work hard when the rubber met the pavement. So we have to let them know this is what our requirements are. We demand that there's respect. We demand you're present and that you are a part of this process. And so they get the lay of the land. Then we had a meet and greet with all of our mentors. We have 10 amazing mentors, and these are executives from Dow that are volunteering their time. And through the course of this training, they'll have donated and impacted these young people with 1,800 hours of their time. Yeah, that's a lot of time. And so we all came together. We had an experience. And then there's a curriculum that I developed. It's called ATS, Arrows to Success. And we go through that curriculum every Monday and every Wednesday and every third Saturday. We have professional speakers. We have leaders of corporations that we bring in, and they speak with our young people and they part nuggets of wisdom.
Is it all done virtually? You're still doing it virtually?
No,
or
we do it hybridly. And the reason so is because we have been blessed to be able to spend an hour of the day. Today at 10:27, I'll be with the young people. We get an hour during the course of the day, and that hour focuses on areas where those young people are really struggling. So in the first half of the semester, we were really focusing on math. We're continuing that focus. So we have an hour where we bring in professional tutors to work with them and take them through that course. That's virtual. Then on Mondays, it's virtual. And we did a hybrid position because of COVID. Mondays is virtual, but we have such a great success because we have fun together and we've built these relationships. So these young people show up on Mondays in a virtual session. And then on Wednesdays from 3:45 until 5:30, it is an in-person session. And then, of course, Saturdays, we have them for 5 hours. Now, a lot of parents are like, that's a long time to have those children, but we love them, and we have built such strong relationships with them that I miss them when we don't see them. So we spend 5 hours on those Saturdays, and we begin to talk about design. We're getting ready to move into a place where we're getting ready to start talking about renewable energies, and they're going to put together some plans and ideas on how to solve community issues around renewable energies and natural resources. And they'll be involved with a pitch competition. It's going to be absolutely amazing.
So when a youngster enters this program, it's a 3-year program. Are you going to have a new class every year of youngsters coming in?
Well, by design, that is how it has been designed. And we've been having some conversation, and there's been a lot of response that I've been getting from other parents to start another cohort. And I was asked that question, can we start are you prepared to start another cohort next year? And we are. We do have the bandwidth to do that. And it would be exciting to be able to bring on another cohort. And so we would have 9th and 10th graders together continuing that process.
And is that typical age? 9th, 10th
Yeah,
grade?
9th grade. Honestly, I'll be very honest with you. In my initial presentation, and you got to start somewhere. This is a large investment. So this is a pilot program that we may be able to use everywhere companies are interfacing with communities of color. My belief is that the age that is most appropriate to begin a pipeline of change is in the 3rd grade, because that's where statistics have shown us that the pipeline to prison begins. And if we can create a pipeline to prison to determine how many prisons will be needed for young people beginning in the 3rd grade, then we can create a pipeline of success using those same metrics.
All right. Kareem, hang on. We're talking to Kareem Bowen. We come back, we got to talk about your pastoral efforts a little bit.
Absolutely.
All ahead here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW. We'll be back.
Mastered by Fusen, your fire, water, and storm damage restoration experts. Did you know a home affected by hoarding can be dangerous and unhealthy? Dramatic action is required to address the problem and help the customer get on the road to recovery. ServiceMaster has developed a successful cleanup service program that uses a proven process to help resolve hoarding situations, large or small. For more information on hoarding cleanup, visit ServiceMasterByFusen.com or call them at 4929. ServiceMaster by Fusen, restoring peace of mind.
What's the most important part of a retirement plan?
Income is king because we all need income. And if you don't have an income plan, you don't have a retirement plan.
That's Kevin Ray, financial coach at Insight Folios. Kevin tells his listeners every week about the importance of income planning, minimizing taxes, and strategies to lead a worry-free retirement. Learn all about that and get your own complimentary financial review by 885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
On our first date, we had masks on and kept 6 feet apart. Now we're a lot closer.
Just like Cliff and Deb, thousands of singles over 50 found their perfect match on Silver Singles last year.
I feel like I'm 20 years old again, and I'm pretty sure she feels the same way.
Rediscover the magic of dating with Silver Singles. The Singles over 50. Sign up today and receive daily matches you won't want to miss at silversingles.com/radio. silversingles.com/radio.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Dell Technologies president.
For a limited time, save up to 45% on all our latest gear to work from anywhere with fast free shipping. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business, so now's the time for incredible savings on PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping and quick installation and setup through Dell Installation Services. Get started by shopping online or contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. Again, the number to call is 877-ASK-DELL.
Snyder moves into the slot, wrist shot, scores! Power play goal, and the Red Wings take a 3-1 lead.
The Red Wings play 7:45 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
We are back with you on the Art Lewis Show, talking to Kareem Bowen, who you hear on WSGW with his United Shades of Grey program Sunday evenings. Aside from the few things that we've talked about that you do, you have a few other little things in your back pocket. For example, you are a pastor.
Yes.
And you also have this, I forgot the name, but Manna. What's your morning manna? Morning
manna with Pastor K. Yeah.
What is that? Tell us about that.
Morning manna with Pastor K is, I think that the beginning of each day starts better when we have a little inspiration. So it is really just starting each morning off with inspiration, something to jumpstart your morning, get the day going, and to start on a positive note. I believe if we live and we start with life in the Word, we end the same way.
So how does one find that? Do you have a website?
Yeah, it's actually a Facebook group. Morning Manna with Pastor K. It's a Facebook group. We do great things. We come together. We are inspired by the Word. We've done, missions to India and to Ghana and other places, just with that small community, a group of people that are there. And we just encourage one another. It's a place to find inspiration and encouragement.
Well, there are some folks listening and watching, by the way, on the video, because I have little notes here from a Geraldine.
Yeah.
Who also has a Bowen in the middle of her name.
Yeah.
And let's see, we have Donna and Von Nickelberry, and that Nickelberry name is important, but Von reminds us of something. Von says, I remember Saginaw being divided by the bridge. And we'll talk about that because it says if you lived here, you didn't cross over the bridge. I remember going to ride my bike to see my grandfather, who was mayor, and was stopped many times. Von brings up an interesting point. I moved here in 1974, and that's one of the first things I discovered about the city of Saginaw was the river.
Yeah.
And its division. And it was a geographic division. And I couldn't understand but I saw it. I knew what it was. Have we gotten over that? Have we gotten beyond the bridge?
Yeah, and I think that we're doing better, but I think that there is still, when we were talking about racial issues and how racism, and we talked about the issue can be tied to our systems, redlining and districting and all those things were a part of that process. And in the city of Saginaw, I mean, it largely was divided by a bridge. I know that when my Aunt Pat, she's going to kill me when I say this, when she was growing up, the east side of Saginaw was very different. And when the influx of General Motors workers and that population came, they centered around the areas where work was available. And so then we saw what we often refer to as the Great White Flight historically, and this is not something that I'm saying, of movement from the east side of Saginaw to the west side of Saginaw, and that river for a great deal of time had been a barrier. We now seeing that barrier somewhat changing. I think the value of the riverfront property is now being taken into consideration. And, we are blessed to have that resource in our city. And so my desire is that we do as other cities have done, where they use the river as a place to meet, as a place to come. We see that Bay City has done a wonderful job of making it the meeting place for the community to come together. And I hope that we do the same thing, and not like other cities where only the rich get to have riverfront properties and are excluded, when we can use that as a place to bring people together. And I see the beginnings of that happening, and I hope that we continue down that path.
Earlier, we talked a little bit about where I grew up and the fact that I grew up in a very mixed area. But the one thing I learned early on was that I couldn't put myself in your shoes. You couldn't put yourself in my shoes either. So what do you want me to know about you that I couldn't possibly know because I can't walk in your shoes?
As a Black man, is that or as Kareem? What is it we're asking? Art?
It's a general question, which is more important.
Okay, I think what I would like for you to know about me is that, first of all, I am unique in every sense of the word. I found out recently, Art, and this is so funny because I had this conversation. I never knew this. My mom used to always say, "Oh my God, you're an activist. You're an activist. You're an activist." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not an activist." And I had a friend contact me from Texas, said, "Hey, is this you in these demonstrations in Washington, D.C.?" And I'm thinking, like, why would I be in Washington, D.C.? And they were like, well, because we know that you are leading a lot of, the issues that are happening. So I realized, Art, that I am an activist. And to me, what that means, uniquely me, is that I'm an individual who believes that each of us has value. And I'm the individual that wants to give everyone an opportunity, an equal opportunity to show and to express their value, because I believe that's when we become beautiful as a nation and as a people.
Couldn't said it better. And that's why I love talking to you. I just I have a great deal of respect for you, Kareem, and always look forward to having a conversation. I think we should do it more often. It's on the one hand, I'm happy that we're doing this during Black History Month. On the other hand, I'm not happy that it took Black History Month to do it. It should be done all the time. So plan on it.
you know what, Art? I'll tell you this, and this is kudos to WSDW and Dave Maurer when I approached them with the concept of doing United Shades of Gray, Conversations of Race in America. I think that it shows to the fact that, the station isn't afraid to be bold. It's not afraid to be edgy. It's not afraid to have a tough conversation. And so I want to thank Dave Maurer and Art and Dave Thomas, Mark Thomas on that choice. But the fact of the matter is, Black history is every day. We are all a part of American history. And as we share those stories and we challenge ourselves, I would challenge everyone to learn something new, go out and experience something, go to a taste of soul or something that you have never done before and experience Black history. And the more that you learn, the more you're empowered, and the more you're empowered, the greater we have at becoming one nation under God.
Well, the clock's working against us, my friend, so we're going to have to cut it off here. But I sense a lunch in the future between the two.
Absolutely.
Kareem, my friend, a great pleasure. And thank you for spending the time with us this morning.
Thank you, Art.
Kareem Bowen, and listen to his United Shades of Gray Sunday evenings. It's a fabulous program. It takes up subjects that need to be talked about. We will be back to conclude this hour after these notes.
Great Lakes Bay Health Centers would like to remind you that building a defense against COVID-19 will take all of us. That's why we're proud to offer not only COVID testing, but also free COVID vaccines at multiple locations. Visit GreatLakesBayHealthCenters.org for comprehensive and times near you. The only way this pandemic will end is with us. So let's all do our part to stay healthy and get vaccinated. Please remember to continue following safety measures to keep yourself, your family, and our community safe. Together, we can finally end COVID-19.
Exergen would like you to know about an important study just released by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has known all along. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate. The study also reports that they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. We can't afford to tolerate readings from non-contact thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
It's been a challenging year. Asking for assistance isn't always easy.
Thank you for calling the Assistance Center. How can I help you?
I just got my most recent energy bill, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to pay it. And I was just wondering if there's any help available.
If you need help with energy and other bills, call 211 or go to mi211.org.
This special message about Help Available brought to you courtesy of Consumers Energy and WSGW.
All right, that does it. I want to thank Kareem Bowen for spending the time with us this morning. An important topic during Black History Month and at all times, actually. And he's always great to talk to. We thank you much for joining us. We thank you for listening to, and all of those who sent notes on the chat side of StreamYard. We thank you much for that too. And Geraldine says about Kareem, he gets in good trouble. I love it. All right, we're going to take time out. When we come back, next hour is Open Phones here on WSGW. We'll have to talk about Super Bowl and all of that coming up after the news.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Ukrainians are desperate to leave their country as preparations ramp up for a possible Russian invasion. Correspondent Holly Williams is in Kyiv.
Ukraine is now close to being encircled by Russian forces. And this fear is intimidating military drills are a prelude to the Russians moving in. It's thought an invasion could start with airstrikes. Kyiv's subway system also serves as the Ukrainian capital's biggest bomb shelter.
He is not evacuating his family. Czech Airlines is adding 3 flights that have been canceled from Kyiv to Prague because of rising demand. Hours after Canadian officials cleared protesting truckers from the busiest U.S. border crossing, Police Chief Pamela Mizuno is warning.
Any unlawful activity in the area will not be tolerated, and officers will take the necessary action to keep the peace and traffic flowing.
Truck drivers had blocked the Ambassador Bridge between Detroit and Windsor, Ontario for almost a week over Canada's vaccine mandates. A 15-year-old member of the Russian figure skating team's gotten the okay to go ahead with the individual competition after she tested positive for doping ahead of the Winter Olympics. CBS's Jamie Yukas is in Beijing.
Today, the Court of Arbitration for Sport announced it based its decision to allow Valieva. She's a minor, and also because the results of her drug test were received so late.
LA football fans are in party mode after the Rams beat the Bengals 23-20 to become Super Bowl champions.
We needed this. You know the pandemic brought us down so bad. Now we're together. We're happy. We're the Rams, baby. This is our town. This is our stadium. No one deserves it more than us.
Vincent Simmons had been fighting to clear his name for decades. Today, he finds out if he's entitled to a new trial after he was convicted of attempted aggravated rape in Louisiana back in 1977. His attorney, Justin Bonus.
If I was Vincent, I'd be angry. He's not angry. He forgives them because he knows vengeance isn't his.
Simmons has presented the court with a medical examination report showing one of his was a virgin after the alleged attack, and another girl showed no signs of assault. A celebrated Hollywood filmmaker has died.
Well, out with it.
Ivan Reitman produced Animal House in 1978 and directed Meatballs a year later. He struck gold with his 1984 smash.
Something strange. Hey, baby.
Ghostbusters grossed almost $300 million worldwide. His family says Reitman died in his sleep. He was 65. This is CBS.
Find your next great hire with Indeed. Our hiring platform makes it easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team will tell you that everything we do is for our members because it's about you always.
Fired coworkers contacted me after 5 p.m. one day. She was working with a member in a rush to meet with the seller of a vehicle she wanted to purchase. I double-checked her loan application right then. I emailed it out to her while she was on her way to the branch so that she could sign electronically. We had her check ready for her when she arrived by 6 p.m. Teamwork makes the dream work. For our member, the dream was finding a car, applying for a loan, and buying it in one day. And the Wildfire team made it work.
Saving members money. providing personalized service, going the extra mile. That's Wildfire Credit Union. Find out for yourself. Call, click, or come by any Wildfire location to experience banking the way it's supposed to be, where it's about you, always. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Your goals? HelloFresh. Their delicious recipes and doorstep delivery take the hassle out of mealtime, and their fit and wholesome plan makes eating well easier than ever. With HelloFresh, you can take your pick from 50 menu and market items each week, and even customize your box by swapping in proteins and sides that work for you. Right now, get an exclusive offer during HelloFresh's President's Day sale. Plus 3 free gifts with code radio16 at hellofresh.com/radio16.
Hola, Carla speaking. Carla's roofing company always goes above and beyond.
Yeah, we heard about next week's forecast.
She needs a new foreman to weather a storm of projects.
You mean another full crew before Wednesday? Mira, Jose, can you work Wednesday?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 10 degrees at 10:05. Mike Perchak. Bay City homeowners may see some funding for home repairs thanks to the American Rescue Plan Act. Headline reports the Bay City Commission approved a proposal to allow $2 million of the city's $31 million ARPA allocation for a 3-part home repair program. The money would reestablish the Community Development Block Grant Emergency Home Repair Program for low-income households to help with furnaces, water heaters, roofs, and other expenses, including code compliance repairs. It also establishes Design Impact, which targets households outside of income restrictions, preventing them from seeking help under the CDBG grant program. There is no application process for the program at this time, and a timeline has not been established for when it will become available. In continued efforts to improve patient experience, McLaren Bay Region has partnered with the Bay County Library System to offer digital resources during their stay. Here's WSGW's Rick Antonio.
In addition to the Bay County Library System's extensive database, patients will be assisted in gaining access to apps offering ebooks, audiobooks, magazines, TV shows, movies, and music, all free of charge. According to an article in The New Yorker cited by McLaren Library and Continuing Med Education Coordinator Allie Hill, reading has been shown to put our brains into a meditative state and of other deep relaxation methods. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
The Saginaw Art Museum is highlighting Black History Month with a number of exhibits. Black Hand Side, created by Kevin Jones, celebrates the joy of the Black experience. Advocacy Through Design is a series of historical posters, shirts, or flyers, which communicates the message of the NAACP. And From Africa to Eternity by Lark Allen III is a collection of masks made from scraps and found items, portraying a message of hope. Black Hand Side and Advocacy Through Design will be on display through April 8th, while From Africa to Eternity will remain at the museum through July 1st. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Pay full price when you know that you can save at RocketGrabPlus.com. You can check out our deals going on right now from Nom Nom Ninja, 120 Fitness, the Saw Room and Wellness Spa, Uplift Creative Center, Joyce's Purple Palette, Woody's Hot Dogs, Wonder Burger, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? You bet. Plus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Exergen would like you to know about an important study just released by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has known all along. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate. The study also reports that they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. We can't afford to tolerate the rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
WSGW News forecast is coming up. Aside from former Detroit Lion Matthew Stafford playing in the Super Bowl for the LA Rams, Detroit's Eminem performed Lose Yourself during the halftime show with Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, 50 Cent, and Kendrick Lamar. At the end of the song, he took a knee, apparently a tribute to former 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick, who took a knee during the national anthem to protest police brutality in 2016. The NFL has denied reports it was attempting to stop Eminem from doing the action. Valentine's Day is today, and one financial firm is looking for love in dating stocks. Here's business editor Murray Feldman.
Money can't buy you love, but maybe love can buy you some money. Love in the form of financial firm Goldman Sachs notes that increased access to the internet and mobile devices and the growth in the number of singles are just two reasons why dating apps could see increased business and profits, and so they may be worthwhile investments. Goldman Sachs likes the dating app Bumble, which has seen its stock lose close to 20% this year, and the app company Match Group, which is down over 10% this year. Underperforming stocks right now that could, according to the analyst, have a bright future in years to come.
Gas prices are down 2 cents from last week in Michigan to an average of $3.35 per gallon, which is 19 cents more than at this time last month and 88 cents more than this time last year. The highest price was in Marquette at $3.49, and the cheapest gas was in Saginaw at $3.28. Time 10:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here is your WSGW weatherology forecast. Scattered snow showers are possible across the listening area today with a high temperature around 22 and winds staying to the south between 10 and 15. Snow is likely for later on tonight, lows around 7 above zero, with winds staying to the southwest at about 5 to 10. On Tuesday, we'll see plenty of sunshine, high temperatures staying into the mid and upper 20s. And then for Wednesday, we'll see a good chance of rain developing into the afternoon, otherwise cloudy conditions with a high temperature around 46 degrees. I'm meteorologist Nick Carlisle with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now it's 9 above.
The only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, welcome back here on WSGW, Hour 2 of the Art Lewis Show from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio. Brought to you by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your commercial and residential real estate needs, put Linda to work for you by calling her at 989-295-7713. 989-295-7713. Or stop in, visit her inside the Point at M46 and M47, where you'll also find Cafe 476, loads of delicious beverages, soups, foods, all waiting for you there. Later on in the hour, we're going to have open phones, but we're going to start the hour reminding you of an event coming up fairly soon. And with us to do that this morning, we say good morning to Paul Weesey. Paul, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
We're doing fine. All right, let's remind everybody about this major event coming up and what it's all about.
So it's our first annual Rat Pack Gala DoubleTree down in the river. So we're doing a fundraiser, basically, where we're bringing in the top 3 impersonators for Frank, Dean, and Sammy, a 17-piece orchestra. And it's going to be a show that starts Saturday, February 19th, and it's going to be from 5 to 10. So the beginning of it, basically, art is a great time. It's going to be a cocktail hour with a 5-piece band playing some light music, and then dinner starts around 6. And then right around 7:15, the Rat Pack and the 17-piece orchestra that will basically take over for the evening. They're going to do, about 45-minute stints and then take a little break in between. We have a dance floor. And this whole thing, my wife, when we were out on our honeymoon in June, when we went back through California to Vegas and watched the Rat Pack out there playing, it was really cool. And we thought, what a great idea to raise money for a good cause. So myself at Superior Insurance Group and my friend Kyle Henris from Henris Wealth Solutions decided to pay for the event. and really just all the money in the tickets and proceeds, which we can talk about, go directly to the charity that we chose. And this year's charity is the Rotary Club of Bay Cities Charitable Foundation, and it focuses on youth and education in Bay County.
And so everybody understands, Paul, because this is an unusual situation. Every dollar of the ticket price, which is not an inexpensive ticket, but every dollar of the ticket price goes to the charity because you've paid for everything, haven't you?
Correct. Every dollar goes. Kyle and myself basically split the cost for the venue and for the band to come in 50-50. So we're the main sponsors. We do offer business tables where you can have your logo on the business on the table. You can have 10 seats. And the tickets aren't inexpensive, but again, it all goes towards the charity. You know, we're trying to do this every year. This is our first annual. We've already booked it out again for the third week in February next year because, hey, happy Valentine's Day weekend, right? It's a great time. You know, you want to bring your wife out, having great dinner. We have a beef, chicken, and a vegetarian option. You have a great venue at the DoubleTree, and you have an unbelievable entertainment pack. 3 hours of. So, I mean, it's worth every penny in our eyes.
All right, so let's talk about those tickets, the hows and wheres and whys and all that.
So you can get the tickets easily through one way. We recommend the easiest is go to our website. So we have a website, and it's called theratpackgala.live. You go to the ratpackgala.live, you can purchase your tickets in any way from, you know, check, you can write us a check, you can do the credit card, American Express, Visa, doesn't matter. The tickets are $200 per person, or you can get a business table of 10 with your logo on it, and that's $2,000, and you get 10 tickets. So it's really the same price, but you get to promote your business and invite 80 of your friends out to have a great time in the town.
And this is not a short show. We're talking about a 5-hour evening.
Correct. So people go to concerts and you get a couple hours. This whole thing is going to be over 5 hours, and we'll get you out at a fairly decent hour, you know, and it's obviously cold out, so we didn't want to run it too late for people. So we'll be done at 10 o'clock, doors will open at 4:45. And cocktails are the only thing that you have to bring money for. We are doing a strict cash bar that is not included in the food.
So let's talk about the Rat Pack artists. Where'd you find them?
You know, went to that show. The next day I was Googling online best Frank Sinatra impersonators in the United States. And this guy kept coming up who's named Matt Snow out of, they call him the Cincinnati Sinatra, and he's out of Cincinnati. And I contacted him, reached out to him. He called me back. We had over an hour conversation about what my thoughts were. He loved it. He was an ex-Rotarian because I'm a president of the Rotary Club. So we were talking about that. And he actually, we got the dates finalized, and I said, well, reach out to you guys. And so he found Frank is him, obviously, and Dean is out of Baltimore, and Sammy, so they're flying them in, and then the majority of his band, being that he's in Ohio, is driving because they're fairly local.
Wow. And you got a 17-piece orchestra goes with this, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Like, we listened to the Rat Pack in Vegas with about an 8-piece orchestra. It was phenomenal. And I've talked to some people. We've got a big venue stage, like I said, with the dance floor. So they'll have the room. And they're going to come in Friday, set up and get ready for the sound testing. And then, like I said, we'll go live on Saturday. So it's really exciting. We're definitely planning on doing it again next year with the same type thing. Just again, go to the website. It's theratpackgala.live.
Some tickets still available. I imagine it's fairly limited seating.
Yes, we had, I think a little bit, honestly, with COVID and probably our first year, we're doing okay. Again, we don't need to make any money because the event's paid for. So all we're asking is for people to come out and support a good charity and a good cause and have a great time doing it. You really don't have to buy anything when you're there other than the cocktail and just have a good time. It is black tie. We do have people coming in tuxes, a suit, and your wife has a dress. That's great too. We're not that strict with the black tie wise, but a nice suit and dress would be great.
Sounds like a fun evening. And again, it's going to be on the 19th at the DoubleTree, 5 to 10, the Rat Pack Gala. And give them the website again.
It's rrelations.live.
Very good. Paul, listen, good luck with it. I hope it's very successful.
Thank you, Art. Appreciate your time. Really appreciate you having us on.
No problem. Anytime. Thanks a lot. And
Okay.
we appreciate Paul's time this morning. Again, theratpackgala.live. Get you more information. And it sounds like an absolutely wonderful evening. Great artists. I mean, you're talking about Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., the core of the Rat Pack, so to speak. And it should be a fun evening. Paul, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. We're going to take a break, and then we will be back. Open phones for the remainder of the hour, right up through 11 o'clock this morning. We'll talk a little bit about the Super Bowl when we return.
If you've ever ordered food for work, you understand. It's different. There's just so much more at stake. Whether it's a meeting, a client call, or lunch to the office that has to arrive at the actual lunchtime, food for work has to work. That's why there's Easy Cater. And as ordered from over 82,000 restaurants. And if there's a problem, rare, you can reach someone in seconds. Thank you for calling Easy Cater. Some food just doesn't work at work, but Easy Cater just does. Order 24/7 at easycater.com.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness, modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from... But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald's Business Report. Investors are closely watching developments involving Ukraine and comments from Fed officials about how the Federal Reserve will respond to inflation. St. Louis Fed President James Bullard says he will advocate for the Fed to raise interest rates by a full 1 percentage point by July, though San Francisco Fed President Mary Daly is warning against abrupt and aggressive action. Intel's self-driving unit Mobileye is planning to build and deploy autonomous shuttles in the U.S. in about 2 years. Couples may enjoy togetherness on Valentine's Day, as when it comes to mattresses, they're opting for more space since the onset of the pandemic. Tempur Sealy says king beds are by far the preference now. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation broke ground on its Do Good Village in Land O'Lakes, Florida. It's the first of its kind, a community of 110 homes for the foundation's program recipients. So together, families can heal. A special place where families know that their neighbors understand and care. Donate $11 a month to T2T.org. T2T.org. That's T, the number 2, T.org.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets. What could be sweeter than that?
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
TrackPhone wants to know, are you an influencer, a big live streamer?
No? Then guess what? You don't need an endless data plan. Get just the right amount of data with TrackPhone's $40 unlimited talk and text smartphone plan. Now with 8 gigs of high-speed data and unlimited carryover on America's largest, most dependable network, now with 5G. Get the data you need at the price you want. TrackPhone Wireless. Now you're in control. Available at major retailers. 5G compatible device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at trackphone.com.
News coverage.
Happening at the border of Ukraine.
The most dangerous moment. Any day now. Things could go crazy quickly. News.
Me saying the N-word. There's nothing I can do to take that back.
News. We no longer need to mask our children.
Our hospitals are overwhelmed.
News coverage.
Trucker protests choking the economies of both the United States and Canada.
The star-studded Los Angeles Rams are a hit. They have won Super Bowl 56
on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you. Lines open for you at 989-752-6111 from just about anywhere because they don't charge you long distance and roaming anymore. So again, it's 989-752-6111. Well, the hype is over. The game was played. The commercials were watched. The halftime show took place. And it's on to the next year. Super Bowl 56 is in the can, as they say. So, first of all, did you watch or listen to the Super Bowl? What did you think of the game? Did you watch the halftime show? What did you think of the halftime show? And the commercials? All part of all this hype and frenzy that goes on before the game. I must admit, as far as the game goes, I thought it actually, in some ways, lived up to the hype. It was a close contest. 2 star-studded lineups and certainly star quarterbacks. The 2 youngest coaches in the game. And a thrilling finish. Now, I have to admit, I was happy with the finish. If you were a Cincinnati fan, you weren't happy with the finish. But I was hoping that Matthew Stafford, who put in 12 years in Detroit, and as his wife said, Detroit will always have a place in their hearts, I was glad to see him get that Super Bowl ring. We always knew he was a great quarterback, not surrounded by a very good team. It's amazing what happens when you put a good team around a good quarterback. But I also have to tell you that it was fun watching Joe Burrow, the young coach for Cincinnati, do his job, as it has been during the season, because he has taken a team that was near the bottom for the past couple of years and taken them to the Super Bowl. No one gave them a chance. Lions, I hope you're listening because there is a possibility for success. This kid comes in with some people would call cocky attitude, but that's okay. Winners have that. And he purported himself very, very well. Even though they didn't get the Super Bowl ring, mere fact they were in that game has to spur them on for next year. More power to them. Commercials, they were so-so this year. I didn't think they were outstanding. There were some big dollar ones. Arnold Schwarzenegger in the BMW electric vehicle commercial, pretty good. Guy Fieri in the Bud Seltzer commercial was kind of unique, but the one I liked the best. Oh, but there were several commercials that were very, very good, but overall I thought it was kind of blah. The one I liked the best was the sloth commercial with Doritos, I thought that was just funny. It was okay, and then in the end, they hit you, and you laughed out loud. So I kind of liked that one. I was it was the Clydesdale commercial with the dog was and the horse that was injured was okay. I don't know that it'll be memorable like some of the Clydesdale commercials. But overall, I didn't think the commercials were I thought they were pretty bland, actually. I didn't think they were great. And some of them spent a lot of money and hired a lot of big names for not what I would call good results. But that's me. Gene is in Saginaw Township. Gene, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
Good morning, Counselor. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I just wanted to call in and say great minds think the same way. I thought that Doritos commercial was the best of the night, and most of the rest were absolutely terrible.
Yeah, I wouldn't go quite that far, but they were bland. They didn't do anything for me. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, you're just like a commercial you'd watch any day of the week. And the other one that I kind of liked, I think it was called FTX.
Yeah.
Batteries, where they had this fellow saying, "The wheel, no. Electric cars, no."
Yeah.
And they went through a series of little videos during the campaign.
Well, here is the test of their success. You remembered their name.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I wrote it down.
That's all right. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to them. It doesn't matter to them how you remembered it.
Yeah.
Only that you remembered it.
Yeah. Right.
I'm
not a big fan of the National Football League because I don't follow it much. But
yeah.
I thought it was a nice game, an exciting game, especially in the last few minutes, and so it was entertaining. And we'll see what happens next year.
Yeah.
I thought the Budweiser commercial was rather bland. Said, "Boy, that was an anticlimax."
Yeah, it was just there, and a lot of them were.
Right,
I overall, when I walk away from these games, my impression is, when we talk about the commercials, was it a great night for the commercials or wasn't it? And in my opinion, other than a few, it wasn't a great night for commercials. I didn't think so anyway. Anyway, the Mike Myers Mini Me commercials and some of that stuff. They had a lot of big names. I'll tell you what, they sure pulled a lot of people up into the commercial world.
That's right. Yeah.
Spent a lot of money. It was $7 million a pop, roughly.
Wow.
But it just, I just wasn't impressed overall, other than a couple.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, anyway, you have a very nice Valentine's Day, you and Lynn, and
you and Yoko too.
Talk to you down the road. Bye-bye.
Look forward to it. Thanks, Gene.
Bye.
Bye-bye now. All right, that opens the lines. Give us a call if you got some thoughts on the Super Bowl or anything else. It's an open line hour. I've got a number of other things to talk about, but I just, Super Bowl's fresh in your mind, and you say to yourself, all right, let's talk about it now, and then we don't have to talk about it for another year. I did think the game lived up to the hype, and that is not often the case. Many, many times in Super Bowl history, they hype, and it's a blowout, and you go, why did I waste my time? It's become, I'm waiting for somebody. Matter of fact, I think somebody probably already has. I'm waiting for somebody to declare that the Super Bowl should be a national holiday and we should have the Monday off after the game. I'm waiting for that. So if you know anybody that has standing in Congress, by all means, pass that on. We treat it like a national holiday when you think about it. I mean, it's, well, as a matter of fact, in Cincinnati, the schools are closed today. They were anticipating a win, of course, but the schools are closed, and I guess if the team flies back today, they can have a big crowd at the airport to welcome back the Bengals. So I mean, there is a little bit of that, and it's almost treated like a holiday. I mean, it seems like a holiday. We think about it like a holiday. We look forward to it like a holiday. And I think it's, as I look back, and this is the 56th Super Bowl, it has been one of the greatest marketing successes the world has ever seen. Because they took a game and turned it into almost a national treasure. With all the hype and the hoopla, it has turned into something very special, all because of marketing, all because of the way it was presented. And then they took the halftime shows and started to make those a prominent display. I mean, the halftime runs a lot longer than most normal halftimes. Teams get a lot of time off the field between the second and third period. And last night's, while I'm not a great fan of hip hop and rap, just because it's just not my music style, I thought they did a fairly decent job in presentation, and that overall it was a hit. So it was a good game. I love the outcome. It was a good halftime show. It's way too much pregame. Way too much pregame as far as I'm concerned. And the commercials were so-so. So that was my impressions of Super Bowl 56. We'll take a break, come back with more. As I said, lines are open for you. Whatever you want to chat about, give us a call. And somebody pushed the button. I don't know where they went back at the station. My goodness. It's gone silent. Well, all right. I don't know who's there. I think if they're waiting for me to start the break, I can't do that because my computer is not functioning this morning.
At
There
the
we
start
go.
of each season, you decide on which seed to plant. You consider you factor the soil type. You find anything that tips the scales in your favor. And when it comes time to spray this season, make certain you find the right mixture that tips the scales towards a zero-tolerance approach to resistant weeds. You'll need a combination that gives you application and tank mix flexibility, as well as multiple sites of action that'll be effective beyond just this season. And when you mix Enlist One and Liberty herbicides, you'll get one of the toughest and most effective post-emergent control pairings against water hemp, Palmer amaranth, and much more. Together, Enlist One and Liberty herbicides is a combination that's mutually beneficial for your neighbors and your operation for seasons to come. When united, resistant weeds fall. Visit enlist.com to learn more.
The Windy City home, Chicago. Saturday, April 9th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. The unmistakable sound of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's Chicago. Tickets start at $59 and are on sale now at the Soaring Eagle and Eagles Landing box offices or online at etix.com. Saturday. Chicago, Saturday, April 9th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
If you leave me now, you'll take away the biggest part of me.
Rock, horns, and hits.
Does everybody really know what time it is? 5, 4, 6, 2, 4.
Chicago, tickets are on sale now. Details at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
And now a small business setback, set to smooth jazz.
It's late. You're just one thing on your mind. The deer about to total your HVAC van. But with Progressive's 30-plus customizable coverage options, you're covered. The rest is just saxophone.
When running your small business gets rough, Progressive Commercial is there to smooth it out. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Twinkly sound.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage and discounts not available for all vehicles or states. Policy terms and conditions apply.
Hey, team, it's full house. We got to pick up the pace.
At Hank's restaurant, the line goes around the block.
Oh, okay. I need the truffle oil, please.
What he needs is another line cook.
Oh, man. Are the quail breasts still in the sous vide? Dave, can you keep an eye on that, please?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast. Indeed you do. InstantMatch instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSW online poll about online gaming in Michigan. In January, the Michigan Gaming Control Board released information that shows the state did generate $1.4 billion in online gaming for 2021, the first year this type of gaming was allowed. That covers the internet, casinos, poker, sports betting. In fact, Michigan was the first state to achieve revenue of at least $1 billion in its first year of offering online gaming. Over $200 million to the state. Poll question is, what is your experience with online gaming in Michigan? Do you play on a regular basis? Do you play every so often? Do you rarely play? Or have you never played and don't intend to? Your online gaming experience. We want to know. When you vote in the WSW online poll box, go to the homepage of WSW.com, scroll down, and you'll find the poll box there. And thank you for making your vote.
I guess I'd have to say I'm on there a lot since I bet 50 cents here, 50 cents there, $1 there.
Does that count as playing?
The Morning Team, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. You are with WSGW in a premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and is.
All right, welcome back here on WSGW. Not only is it the day after the Super Bowl, but it is also Valentine's Day. Now, I used to call these Hallmark card holidays because Hallmark does a big business on Valentine's Day, and now the other card companies do too. But I must admit, it's kind of, I guess, grown on me. My wife and I never did much about it in the past, but this time I went out and got her some of her favorite chocolate-covered strawberries and got a card and did all that. Going to go out to dinner. So we're kind of celebrating, and we're not big on holidays, but this one is, for some reason this year, I've felt the need, so to speak. But hope you have a good, however you celebrate Valentine's Day. These times, and I try and always remember this, while I may be having a great time and loving my wife and all of that, there are people suffering whose holidays are not the best of times. And so kind of keep them in your thoughts and prayers too. Jim is in Freeland. Jim, good morning to you.
Well, good morning to you also, Art. Enjoy your program.
Thank you, sir.
Anyway, a couple of comments. The Super Bowl halftime was okay. It's not my type of music either. And but it was very entertaining. The set presentation was, out of this world what they put up. Unbelievable.
It was.
It was very, very cool. My second comment is, I'm kind of cleaning out some of my winter gear. I'm involved in skiing a lot, and I've got a number of fleece, quarter zip things over the time period. I want to kind of donate to someone who would, mainly young men, guys. They're all size large, and they're in really good condition, all on hangers. I'm just wondering if you had any suggestions where I could take them to, so they could get them to some people who need them in this kind of weather.
Well, there's actually probably quite a few suggestions. I I'll give you just a couple off the top of my head. I would probably start, this is just me, with the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan. They get a lot of men coming through there that probably do not have all the clothes they need in cold weather. So that would be the first place I would start. Well, that would be the Saginaw Mission and the Good Samaritan Mission in Bay City. And if you hang on, I'll find you a phone number. Just a moment here.
Well, I can probably look them up.
Yeah, I can get it for you though. Hang on a minute. It's since I know the email by heart, I should be able to find it for you quickly. What did I do wrong here? Let's see. Let's try this. Well, I'm not getting it as quickly as I thought I would. I don't know why.
Look it up.
Yeah, you can look it up. Just look up Rescue Mission in Saginaw, and you should find it.
Okay.
The next step, if you're a member of a church, they usually have pathways to donations for those in need.
Okay, yeah.
And then the other ones are, the Salvation Army has its thrift store, and others have thrift stores too, Underground Railway, things like that. So, I mean, there's a ton of avenues to donate things of that nature, but that's just off the top of my head where I'd start.
Yeah, I wanted to get to people they didn't have to buy them; they could get them as needed.
Yeah, well, in that case, I would start with the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan, Rescue, and the Saginaw Mission, Saginaw Rescue Mission. All right.
Got it. I'll go there.
Great.
Thank you. Oh, another comment on the Super Bowl. I missed the Clydesdale.
Well, there was one Clydesdale ad, and compared to what they've done in the past, it was sort of bland. It was a tearjerker kind of thing, but it wasn't what they're usually up to.
No, I'd like to see them all hook to that team and
yeah.
their stuff.
Yeah. All right.
But anyway,
hey, good enough, Jim. Thanks. Appreciate it. Good thoughts too. Donating. Yeah, wanting to donate that stuff. It's good thoughts. Let's take a break, and then we'll be back. Lines open for you here on the Art Lewis Show.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team will tell you that everything we do is for our members, because it's about you, always.
I had a member who received an email that a reputable company that she works with was going to take a large amount of money out of her account. She was panicked and upset, and I walked her through what she needed to do, told her the exact steps to do, and that I would keep an eye on her account. So she followed all of my instructions to the letter. And then a company that charged her account was aware that it was a scam, and they gladly and apologetically assured her that everything would be just fine and the money would not come out of her account. So she was very grateful.
Saving members money, providing personalized service, going the extra mile. That's Wildfire Credit Union. Find out for yourself. Call, click, or come by Wildfire location to experience banking the way it's supposed to be, where it's about you, always. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week still on RocketGrabPlus.com for Sullivan's Food and Spirits is sold out. But you can still check them out online and in person. And don't forget to keep checking back because there are still a ton of deals on RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you add cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GEAR for 25 cents a gallon or more cash back on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code GEAR to earn 25 cents a gallon or more on your first tank. That's code GEAR.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show,
what are Biden's 3 favorite activities on vacation?
Nap, ice cream, nap.
In that order.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you, and I got a note from Ken Buck from Buck Insurance, who we're going to be talking to later this week about the Super Bowl, and he was glad Matthew Stafford finally got his ring. Ed is in Harrison. Let's go there next. Ed, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art.
Good morning.
And yes, I watched the Super Bowl. I was glad to see Matthew get his ring too. I was kind of concerned there in the fourth quarter, kind of running out of time here. I'm thinking, you better start doing something.
Well, I want,
Cooper Kupp, they should make a team.
I tell you what, it's interesting you say that, because I had the same thoughts, but yet I kept going back to the fact that Stafford, it's the way he's played the game,
He seems to know how that 2-minute, run.
He knows how to do it.
But yes, but I said when they needed some good plays, some plays done, clutch plays for some yardage, he always seemed to go to Cooper Kupp, and he was one that pulled him through for it too.
And I'm glad that Cooper Kupp got the MVP, because after he caught that pass in the end zone, I said to myself, he's the MVP. He needs to be. He was there when he had to be.
Him or Donald, either one, one or the other.
Yeah.
Donald or Kupp, they both.
Yep. And as much as I like Stafford and as much as I like Burrows, I'm glad neither quarterback got it. It's quarterback. Come on, there's so many other guys on the team.
Yeah.
I'm glad Kupp got it.
Players. And now another thing too. Now, late Friday afternoon, what come out in the news that nobody's talking about? Hillary again.
Hillary's back. Yeah. I saw that.
And where, her campaign might be involved in, what do you want to call it? Fake news.
Well, there has been some speculation that in 2024 she might try and run again and run against Trump. If he runs again, I have to be.
If all this information is, has got any wheels to it at all, I think her campaign is done for already.
Well, yeah, it may be, but his may be too. He's losing some
I
support.
agree with that.
I think.
I feel like you do. I like his policies, but as far as his personality, he leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I like that. Very nice. I think that it's time for some new blood, and I'm unfortunately I don't know who that new blood is.
We seem to always we get this. Well, like all right, the Bushes. They look at their. It just seems like we can't hang into the families. Even we don't have to even get into national politics. Look at local politics and state politics.
Yeah.
We've had people that have been in politics. Next thing, it's some other relative of theirs or brothers.
Yeah, well, I don't have, I have to be honest. I mean, if that's what the public wants, and I voted for family members in the past where they've had a brother or somebody else in politics, and I voted for them. because they're individuals, even though they may be related. I don't have so much of a problem with that. I have, I think particularly in the presidency, I would like to see us go back to some younger folks that may bring fresh eyes.
Yes.
The old school, and particularly the old school. And the old school coming out of Congress, coming out of Washington. It's
when you
become
got
the
them in
same old.
early and late 80s, and they're still running for re-election.
Yeah, you got it.
Come on.
However,
they're
I-
the ones that raised the money, though, too.
However, I am not a fan of term limits. So if they can keep getting reelected, okay, so be it. I do not
you
favor
have to,
term
but
limits.
Like you've always said, though, we have term limits. It's called election.
Exactly.
If you don't like the person who's in there, you vote them out. That's the end of their term.
That's it. You got it.
Well, anyway, you have a good day, and please turn the heat up. It's just a little bit chilly.
I think it'll be 46 Wednesday, so maybe you'll get your chance for
Yeah,
a day.
but then again, Thursday we're talking snow again. So.
Yeah. Yeah, well, welcome to Michigan. I mean, it is February after all. All right, Ed.
Have a happy Valentine.
Hey, thank you. You too. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
All right, a couple of moments left here. I do want to bring this up, too. There has been finally the reopening of the Ambassador Bridge. There were a number of arrests made, vehicles towed, and the bridge, I don't know if it's totally back to normal. It is reopening. It was closed for a week by the Canadian truckers. And the governor says that it is a win for Michigan families, and she's absolutely right about that. That bridge being closed has cost a lot of Michigan jobs and money. So that is the busiest trade bridge in the United States, carrying about 25% of all the trade from Canada, going back and forth between the United States and Canada. And it's one thing to protest. And I fully agree with protesters' rights. Now, we have to also understand, though, we're talking about Canadian protesters, not American protesters. We have a constitution, guarantees certain rights to protest and all of that. Not quite as freeing in Canada, and the Canadian government is just liable to finally crack down, particularly in Ottawa, where it's pretty much come to a standstill. As much as I don't like Trudeau, I don't think much of him. I think he's going to reach a frustration point where he's going to have to do something, and that will be the turning point. I don't think it'll be pretty. Anyhow, we're going to take our last break, come back and close out this hour and tell you what's ahead on Focus, all ahead this morning.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the Mac. Insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AA Wealth Management, LLC.
Exergen would like you to know about an important study just released by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has known all along. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate. The study also reports that they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. We can't afford to tolerate the rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
This view was worth a hike.
Right? And it's a good way to stay on top of my health.
Yes, I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. Have you screened for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. It's more treatable when caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and it's used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit Cologuard.com.
I'm in.
If you could wave a wand and change one thing about your house, what would it be?
Hold that thought, but forget the wand. Home improvement isn't magic.
If you're a do-it-yourselfer, we can show you the tricks of the trade for remodeling and repair.
And how to not get fooled when you're choosing and directing a contractor. Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler.
And I'm Leslie Segretti. Phone in your fix-up questions here this weekend.
On the Money Pit Home Improvement Radio Show.
The Money Pit, Saturday mornings at 9 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, that's going to do it for the Art Lewis Show for today. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Our thanks to Kareem Bowen, who we talked to the first hour during Black History Month. An interesting and, I think, vital program. Coming up, news from CBS, top of the hour. And then the local report, bringing you up to date on everything happening in the area. We'll talk to Brian Dufresne from the Bay Aranac ISD about a big open house they have coming up. We'll do that on Focus. That will be next.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. Russia's foreign minister, with Vladimir Putin right nearby, says his country should continue a dialogue with the U.S. and its allies, even though Moscow's have not been met. CBS's Holly Williams in Ukraine reports the U.S. Embassy is getting ready for a possible invasion.
All American personnel will be withdrawn in the next 48 hours, according to our sources. Meanwhile, Ukraine's government continues to urge calm, and life goes on here pretty much as normal. But make no mistake, people are worried.
In Washington, CBS's Christopher Cruz says a man who lost his son in a Florida school massacre 4 years ago today raised a banner on a construction tower calling on the president to back gun control.
Manuel Oliver climbed 150 feet to hang the large banner, which he said on Twitter was in honor of his son Joaquin, who was one of 17 people killed at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Oliver posted a video of himself standing on the freezing and windy tower. Police closed roads in the area.
Now that the Ambassador Bridge from Detroit to Windsor has been reopened with anti-vaccine mandate protesters cleared out, attention shifts to the gridlock in Canada's capital.
Who are there with the sole objective of causing disruption and chaos. There'll be serious consequences for this lawless activity.
Ontario's Premier Doug Ford also indicated this morning he will lift most vaccination requirements in the province as of March 1st. A Russian skater who failed a drug test weeks ago can compete in the final week at the Winter Games. CBS's Steve Futterman.
This saga of Kamila Valieva is far from over. The ruling by the Court of Arbitration for Sport was on a very narrow issue. Simply, should she be allowed to compete during the remainder of these Olympics? The full investigation into her drug violation, the ramifications of this have a long ways to go. It is still possible she could be sanctioned. It is still possible she could be stripped of any medals she wins here in Beijing.
The Rams claimed the Lombardi Trophy with a 23-20 Super Bowl win over LA, celebrated into the night.
I'm happy, man. You can feel it. It's tangible, bro. Just look around, man. I'm happy for the city.
The win is a big moment for Rams tackle Andrew Whitworth, who at age 40 is now the NFL's oldest player. He was on CBS Mornings.
I tell you what, man, it's awfully special. A lot of people to thank. Just an unbelievable feeling.
Wall Street right now, the Dow is down 338 points. NASDAQ is up 29 points. This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
Planning your home improvement projects for 2022? Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has been helping their Great Lakes Bay region clients for 64 years with large projects like remodeling a kitchen or bathroom, replacing a furnace or boiler, and installing central air. Maybe your project is smaller, like a replacement, updating a kitchen faucet and garbage disposal. No project is too big or too small. Start by visiting the showroom where you will find products to fit your budget, design idea, and mechanical need. Reamer is proud to carry American-made products like Bradford white water heaters, American Standard heating and cooling equipment, Birch custom cabinets, and Cambria quartz. When you work with Reamer, you'll get expert knowledge and advice. Installation is completed by state licensed installers. So start your new year home improvement project with a visit to Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Call 989-792-8738 or visit reamerplumbing.com.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Your career takes flight when you join the winning teams at Soaring Eagle and Saginaw Eagles Landing. The premier gaming and entertainment destinations in Michigan are currently hiring for a wide variety of positions for all levels of experience. Visit us online at SoaringEagleCasino.com for a full list of openings and learn about all the benefits and the new $15 an hour minimum wage. Apply today at Soaring Eagle Casino Resort and Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Well, the skies in 10 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Mark Bush. City commissioners are working on a way to prevent any conflicts of interest while allocating the American Rescue Plan Act funds the city has. WSGW's Rick Antonio has this.
Proposed by Commission President Chris Gerard, the measure hopes to clear the air for commissioners on any current or future allocation requests. Gerard says the city already has a conflict of interest prevention policy, but adding a specification for the ARPA allocation process could help prevent squabbles like other surrounding communities are having. The policy would allow any commissioner who may have vested interest in an allocation discussion or proposal, regardless of their financial involvement, to abstain from handling the matter. Gerard says that the new policy is being fine-tuned after its initial presentation and should be ready for approval at the next scheduled meeting on February 21st. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
Midland City Council will resume joining at City Hall after a 3-week break. The meeting comes after the Midland County Board of Commissioners recently canceled their February gathering, citing a lack of official business to handle. City Council will be voting on consideration of the proposed 2022 through 2028 capital improvement plan, providing general approval for proposed projects to be included in the upcoming budget. In documents sent to the city manager, Community Development and Planning Director Grant Merschel says the adoption of the improvement completes all needed work for projects included on the plan for the next 6 years, but instead creates a document that can be reviewed on an annual basis to allow the city to adjust timing and funding on projects as priorities change. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness, modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense bacteria and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
WSGW 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. A Sheboygan County deputy is recovering after being hit in the neck with a hatchet on Thursday. Deputies had responded to a home in Ellis Township for a welfare check. One of the officers was attacked, and fellow deputies fired their weapons at the suspect, 32-year-old Ian Tracy, who was killed. A woman and the children in the home were safe. The deputy has been released from the hospital. State police are investigating the incident. As the pandemic approaches the 2-year mark, how are small businesses managing to navigate their way through? A best-selling author who helped Airbnb's founders turn their startup into a global hospitality brand says with the Great Resignation, it's important to find employees.
You do it by creating a really robust culture. Most companies say, oh, the customer comes, I'm sorry, most companies say the customer comes first. And I differ. I think actually, especially in the service industry, the employee comes first. And so how are you investing in culture?
Conley says business owners should ask employees what they think they need to do their best work. He will host DTE's free small business webinar on February 24th. You can register at DTE/smallbiz. The longtime voice of Michigan Wolverines football, Frank Beckman, has died. The 72-year-old Beckman also called games for the Lions and the Tigers. The Detroit-based radio station where Beckman spent most of his career, WJR, reported he suffered from a rare brain disease and had also suffered strokes. Said he died on Saturday at a hospice center in Clarkston. Mackinac County Sheriff is urging caution for those using the ice bridge to cross the Met to Mackinac Island. Authorities say even if there are Christmas trees to mark the route, there is no guarantee the ice is safe. Temperatures, there are other factors at play, such as currents, wind, and sunshine. WSGW News Time, 11:10. I'm Mike Perch.
Here is your WSGW weatherology forecast. Scattered snow showers are possible across the listening area today with a high temperature around 22 and winds staying to the south between 10 and 15. Snow is likely for later on tonight, lows around 7 above zero, with winds staying to the southwest at about 5 to 10. On Tuesday, we'll see plenty of sunshine, high temperatures staying into the mid and then for Wednesday, we'll see a good chance of rain developing into the afternoon, otherwise cloudy conditions with a high temperature around 46 degrees. I'm meteorologist Nick Carlisle with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now it's 14.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And a good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of Focus from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio. I'm Art Lewis. Our program brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about RoofMax online at roofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. That's RoofMax with 2 X's. And today we're going to learn about an upcoming open house at the Bay Aranac ISD. And with us this morning, we say good morning to Brian Dufresne. Brian, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. Thanks for having me on today. I appreciate it.
No problem. So let's talk, first of all, before we get to the event and the open house, give us a little overview of the ISD.
Well, first of all, the ISD, the Career Center itself, we have 25 different CTE, which is career technical educational programs that we offer to students in Bay and Aranac counties. And also we have some from students here from Saginaw County that attend as well. 21 different high schools that are attending the Career Center are 2 different shifts. And we have a PM session as well, and about 1,000 students on a daily basis.
So is this, the facility is what we would normally think of as a vocational school. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. Yeah, we're a vocational center. And yep.
For a lot of years, it almost seems to me anyway, as an outsider and a non-educator, that we neglected the vocational side of things. The big push was college, college, college. You got to go to college. Yet all these careers were going wanting for employees where you could make a decent living.
Many years ago, the big push was sending everybody to college. And, you know, as you look now, our careers in technical education, welding, building trades, nursing, there is such a high demand for these jobs that were overlooked for so many years. And with the baby boomers retiring, we're going to definitely need some people in the medical areas. And, you know, not everybody is going to college. And I'll tell you what, there's such great opportunities for these students and young men and women to earn a great income and have a great life by coming here to the Career Center and getting interested in one of these careers.
All right, so let's talk about the facility and what's coming up. Tell us about the open house.
Well, this Thursday, February 17th from 4 to 7, we're hosting our open house. This is an open house, which we really try to focus on our 10th and 11th grade students in the Bay and Aranac counties to come over and take a look at the facilities and explore the programs that they may have interest in. And that's a follow-up from last Thursday, which we had what's called our 10th grade day, where we invited over 1,000 10th grade students from the area to come in and take a look. And this will give them an opportunity to in depth and see if something here sparks an interest with them and giving them an opportunity to attend here next year for school.
So are you a what I would call a magnet type school? Because you mentioned you have students from Saginaw County when we have a career center here. What's the requirements?
Well, the requirements are simply, do you have an interest in a career? You know, a lot of times people say they want to come out here and find a career, but, you know, it's also important that they come out here and they might find it's something that they did not want to do. Most importantly, it's all exploration for students to get an idea of what they want to do for the rest of their life. You know, that's a huge commitment, and, you know, we provide that opportunity for those students that come out here.
On February 17th, this open house, when does it run from? What are the time frames?
Time frame is from 4 to 7 on Thursday, February 17th. Also on that evening, our restaurant, The Blooming Chef, will be opened in the evening for the second time in the 50 years from 4 to 6, in which we are having our students cook. They do all the culinary, and that night it's we're serving fettuccine alfredo, chicken or shrimp for $10, and that will also include salad bar, your drink with your dinner, which is soda, and also a dessert that is made by our students here as well. So that you can't beat that. And that's the restaurant is open.
That's a heck of a price for all that food.
You know, it's we don't charge to make money. It's the opportunity for kids to get the experience, and we just charge for cost. You know, we're here we're trying to get people in so our students can get that experience so they can go out and work in our community.
All right, Brian, hang on. I got to take a break, and we will be back with more as we talk to Brian Dufresne from the Bay Aranac ISD. More coming up after these notes.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why price when you know that you can save at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out our deals going on right now from Nom Nom Ninja, 120 Fitness, the Salt Room and Wellness Spa, Uplift Creative Center, Joyce's Purple Palette, Woody's Hot Dogs, Wonder Burger, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? You bet. Plus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Hey team, it's a full house. We got to pick up the pace.
At Hank's Restaurant, the line goes around the block.
Is this for 12? Okay, I need the truffle oil drizzle.
What he needs is another line cook.
Oh man, are the quail breasts still in the sous vide? Dave, can you keep it?
It can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
That dinner was delicious. What's next?
I'm thinking just the check.
Do you frequently diarrhea, stomach pain, or loose oily stools after eating? One or more of these symptoms could be a sign of exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, and it may be time to talk to your doctor.
If you have EPI, Creon may be right for you. Creon, pancrelipase. That treats EPI. Creon replaces enzymes you may be missing to help you break down food properly.
Creon may increase your chest fibrosis and colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Not your capsules for continence, as this may cause mouth irritation. Tell your doctor if you have unusual severe stomach pain, bloating, trouble passing stool, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, worsening of painful swollen joints, or allergic reactions. Other side effects may include changes in blood sugars, gas, dizziness, or sore throat and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Talk the #1 prescribed EPI treatment and visit gocreon.com. That's GOCREON.com or call 1-800-633-9110.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
We've got a lot of problems with the supply chain.
Tom Sullivan on WSGW.
And a lot of it is being exacerbated by they have done everything in their power under their authoritarian rule to lock down. Well, those 20 million people cannot go to work. Some percentage of them work in factories making stuff, and they're not at work.
Tom Sullivan, weeknights at 7 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
All right, we're back with you. We're talking to Brian Dufresne from Bay Arnack ISD about their open house on the 17th and about vocational education. Give us an idea, Brian, of the scope of that kind of education. What subjects are you talking about when we talk about vocational training?
Again, the Career Center, we have 25 different programs that we offer. They range from agri-science or agricultural and natural resources all the way to welding with electronics in between. Cybersecurity is one of our newer programs that we have here, along with we're embarking on our second year of early middle college, and we have 5 different programs that are involved in that to kind of take away that misnomer of students who go to the Career Center or go to a vocational center and do not go to college, which is far from the truth because about 85% of our students attend either a college, trade school, or a certification program after leaving here.
Well, that's a pretty high number.
Yeah, we work very closely with our schools in the area, with State University, Delta College, Davenport. We work with them to get our students in, along also with a lot of our local trades unions and our also certification schools in the area. We work very well with them, and they're here all the time because, we are a great resource. I'd like to say we're like the farm club for some of these building trades or skill trades programs for these students.
And, how long a program are we talking about? Somebody comes to the Skills Center. How long are they there for?
Well, in order to be eligible here, as 11th and 12th grade students, you can come for a 1-year program and do that 11th grade year and or another 1-year program on your 12th grade, or you can come here for a 2-year program, which some of the 2-year programs would be like welding, precision machining, computer programs, cybersecurity, and programs such as marketing and management, PTOT, sports medicine are some of the one-year programs, but there are a lot of opportunities from that all the way to nursing.
And when a student reaches the end, do you have placement?
Yeah, we have what's called a work-based learning program. We have 2 individuals that are here, and most of our programs, if not all, our students go out and do internships and or externships with companies to get out into the real world and see what it is like out there. Again, we're a hands-on facility, so students can actually get into, if you're in precision machining, you're working on a machine here, and then you go out into a machining shop and actually work on the floor there. We also have a great relationship with McLaren Bay Region that we work with, and we have a health tech program, and we have definitely work in that facility on a daily basis.
Is there a website where people can get more information on the ISD?
Yeah, absolutely. Our website is daisd.net. And if you would go through there, and then on there, you can go through and get to our career centers information and our website from there.
And lastly, even though I know the answer to this, is there a cost to a student?
There is no cost. Fortunately, this in Bay and Aranac counties, we have a millage that pays for this, which is you have to give a lot of credit to the mothers of our area who thought of this back in 1968 when it went to fruition and opened in 72. They actually came up with the millage, and it is free to all of our Bay and Aranac students, which is a phenomenal opportunity for these students.
Absolutely. Well, Brian, listen, I want to thank you for your time this morning. And we hope a lot of folks turn out for the open house and that delicious dinner that sounds good too.
Thank you, Art. I appreciate you taking the time to let us give out the information about what we got going on over at the Career Center. We appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks a lot for being with us. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Brian Dufresne from the Bay Aranac ISD. We thank him for joining us on the Career Center. We'll take a break, come back. We'll find out what's happening in the marketplace from Baird & Company. All of that is ahead this morning.
Race to savings for great deals going on now at Menards.